to your destiny. Good morning, student. Good morning to your destiny. Now, like I've been showing you about the drawing. So this is the cam. This is the cam assembly, and this is the cam shaft, and this is the gear. This cam is driven by the engine like this. So as it is moving, you can see the follower here from this place. You can see the follower is also moving. So when you are told to draw the cam profile, you're simply going to draw how the cam is rotating the follower like this, because the follower has to be on this part. So when it is like this, the follower is lifted up. When it is like this, the follower is on dwell. When it is like this, the follower is still on dwell. When it is like this, the follower now has a return stroke. So we have the out stroke on the right, we have the dwell, then we have the return stroke, then we have the dwell, and then we have the out stroke. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and I will show you more about this. Good morning, students. Good morning to your destiny. Once more, we thank God for the gift of life and all that He has given us. Now, in this tutorial video, I promised you in the previous one that I will show you actually how to draw now the cam profile. I've already shown you how to draw the cam displacement diagram over uniform velocity motion. The cam displacement diagram over uniform velocity motion. Now I want to show you how to draw the cam profile. You must use the cam displacement diagram. At the same time also you must also use the details given to you. So the very first thing I told you should look at the stroke, the radius. You should also look at the motion at which you want to construct the cam displacement. But when you're constructing now the cam profile, you look at the follower. What is the type of the follower, the kind of the follower that you have been given? And the type of follower in this case, it is a knife edge follower, as you can see there. It is a type of a knife edge follower, as you can see. So I want to show you now how to construct now the cam profile. The very first thing, as you have been told, the knife edge follower is the very first thing that you construct when you want to construct a cam profile. So from this point again, you can use the width of the cam. Let it be 3 centimeters, like I have used it. I've used 3 centimeters, as you can see here. I've used 3 centimeters, and you can use the height as 6 centimeters, like this. So you can see very well from this point again. You can use it as 6 centimeters. Also here can be 6 centimeters, like that. So after you have done that, identify a middle point like this. This will be 1.5. The point, the center point will be 3 centimeters. From this point again, the center point will be 3 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters. Then from this point again, draw a center line, dotted lines, center line like that. So that will become a center line like that. You can project it down on like that. Then from there, we are told that it is a knife edge. So you can use a point. You can draw with a knife edge. From this point, you can draw a knife edge. From this point, like this. Again, we draw another knife edge like this. That way. At that particular point, that is a knife edge. So from this point, that's what we want now to identify. And we want to get how the motion of the cam will be, and where the profile of the cam, the motion of the cam will be. So after having done that, that is good work. After having done that, the next thing that you look for and that you draw, it is this, the radius of the cam. Look at here, look at this place. We were given the radius of the cam as 50 millimeters, which is the same as 5 centimeters. So using your ruler again, stand from this point again, draw 50 millimeters or 5 centimeters. To that point, See, that is 5 centimeters at that point again. At this point, because we want that the radius will pass at this point. So from this point where they intersect, where you chose that the knife is, from that point make a mark downward like this. Then from this point here again, draw now the radius of the cam like this now. You see now, this is now the 5 centimeters that I'm telling you. After you have done that, that is now good work. After doing that, now the very next thing that you do, you will now divide. After now, you can maybe draw your lines from this point here. Again, you can draw your lines from this point, very reference line like that. So from this center line, this center line here, you will divide the outstroke. You will identify the 60 degrees of the outstroke, then measure the dwell, then measure the return stroke according to the rotation that you have been given. In this, we have not been given it's clockwise or anti-clockwise. In the question, you have not been told, but I just use a clockwise rotation. So from this point here, this is where now you need your protractor. You need your protractor at this particular juncture. So from this particular juncture, you put your protractor there from the center line of the radius. After you've put it from at this point, after you put it like that, in that point, then the very next thing that you do now, the very next thing that you now have to do in this particular thing, when this line has aligned itself with the 90 degrees, now you want to measure. This is 360 degrees. So it is this motion that we were drawing in the cam displacement. Now we want to use. Now we will use we'll actually use this information now. You see this information? Now here we will use the 60 degrees directly. We will not convert it now into centimeters like we did during the cam displacement diagram. No. Now in this time, in this cam profile, we will use the 60 degrees as it is, the 30 degrees as it is, the 60 degrees as it is, the 210 degrees as it is. And even we'll have to divide it. You see, as we have divided these parts here, like this, we'll also divide in our cam profile. Sorry, here I did not name. This is 0 prime, 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime, 5 prime, and 6 prime. We will again divide the outstroke and divide again the return stroke on this part using this protractor. So follow very keenly. Follow me very much keenly. So at this particular point again, here after you have aligned it with 90 degrees, it is like that. Measure going clockwise. I've said I will go anti-clockwise. I will not go clockwise. I will go anti-clockwise. So measure 60 degrees. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at this point here, this is our 60 degrees. What was that? That is now our return, our outstroke, all the rise. So project a line that is exceeding this radius of the base line, like that. Then after you have done that, after you have done and identified those things and have gotten that done, so you must divide this part, this angle. You see this angle, this is 60 degrees. This angle from here to here, from here to here, this is 60 degrees, and that's what we are calling the outstroke. Divide it again. You divide it again by 6 times. So divided it by 6 times. Again, put your protractor where you should be putting it at that particular point. Then after you've put your protractor at that particular point that it has aligned like that, measure 10 degrees. That's why you say you must have a calculator. So you say 60 divided by 6 times. How many times do we have to divide? We have to divide it by 10. So we'll have 10 degrees at intervals of 10 degrees apart, 10 degrees apart, 10 degrees apart, 10 degrees apart, 10 degrees apart. Now look at this particular point. You see, we divide it according to the outstroke, according to the displacement diagram. If in your displacement diagram you divided this distance from here to here 8 times, you will also have to divide the outstroke on your cam profile 8 times. But if you divided it 6 times, you will have to divide this particular place 6 times. So it is almost the same thing that I'm using and I'm saying. So from this particular point, measure 10 degrees, 10 degrees. So this will be the first. Will be there 10 degrees again, 10 degrees again. This 10 degrees at this point, 10 degrees at this point, 10 degrees at this point, 10 degrees at this point. When you count this, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. So having done that and having done that good work, again stand on this particular point like this, stand in this particular point like this, again draw a line like that, again stand here again at this particular juncture, again at this point, again draw a line like that, again stand at this particular point, again draw a line, projecting it way much above the radius of the cam of the base circle. Again like that, stand here, again project it like that. That now is the first part. Now you have divided the outstroke into 6 intervals or 6 correct measurements. Again, the next feature that you look for from our question paper, it is that we have to draw, for the next we have to draw 30 degrees of the cam in dwell. The cam, according to our displacement diagram, you can see we have a 30 degrees dwelling. So we dwelt for 30 degrees. So we again come here with your protractor correctly like that, aligned perfectly like that. So again you again measure. So 30 degrees. So from this point, from this last point that we identified as 60 degrees, measure 30 degrees. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3. So the 30 degrees will be at this point. So this last point, this 60 degrees becomes 0, so that this can become 1, 2, 3. So this is 30 degrees. So at this particular point, we do not partition or we do not divide this line. Just draw a line like this. So like that. So that becomes, this is the dwell now. This is the 30 degrees. And now this is 30 degrees. This is the dwell. That is the dwell. So the next thing that we have to draw now, from our displacement diagram, the next thing that we have to draw, it is the return stroke or the fall. The return stroke or the fall. How many degrees was it? It was 60 degrees. Again, take your protractor. This time you have to turn it upside down because this is not a 360 degree protractor. You can always put it there upside down. Then after you've done that, this point becomes our 0 so that we can measure 60. So the last point was 30 degrees. From here to here was 30, so this 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at this particular point here, that becomes our 60 degrees, which represents the return stroke. So from here again, like this, so draw now, project like that, the return stroke. So these 60 degrees, that represent the return stroke. Now, again, divide it into 6 equal parts according to the way you divided it on your cam displacement diagram. You see the return stroke was like this. We divided it into 6 equal parts. You can see 6 prime. So the same case, the same scenario has to happen when you are doing it on the cam profile. So standing on the cam profile again, aligning your protractor properly as you had drawn. You say 60 divided by 6, it will be 10. So 10 intervals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 60 degrees. Again, stand here like this. Stand here like this. Draw lines that are protruding this point like this. Draw another line like that. Draw another line like this. Draw another line like this. And then draw another line like this. That way. Now, we have been able now to divide and have been able to achieve all these points, as you can see from our drawings. We have been able to achieve all these points as you can see properly. Now the very next thing that we use and we do, please be careful and follow very keenly. Now the very next thing that we do in this particular instance, as you can see, that we do now, the very next thing that we now have to do in this place, we now have to draw the cam profile. How do you do the cam profile? That's why I told you now. The cam displacement diagram comes in at this particular point. This is where the cam displacement diagram comes in at this particular point. Now you have to measure this distance from here to here, 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 so that you can come and apply it again from here, this point, from this point and this point and this point. So this will be, this automatically now becomes, this now will automatically become, this will become 0. Let's say this point will be 0. This line will be 1. Let's say this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. So this again will become 0 prime, will be 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime, 5 prime, and then this will be 6 prime. The rest of this, we are told it is 12. The rest of this from here to here, we are told it is 210 degrees, which is represents the 12. That represents the 12. So the same things that are in your displacement diagram, you have to apply them now into your cam profile. That's why I told you, you can never draw the cam profile, draw the displacement diagram. You must first understand how to draw the displacement diagram. Then after you have understood drawing this displacement diagram, apply the same geometry on your cam profile and you will achieve whatever that you want to achieve. So we start with the 0 line. Which is our 0 line? This was our 0 line. The 0 line, it is always at this point. It is 0. There is no measurement. Then go to number 1. Number 1 line in your displacement diagram. So you have to measure this distance from here to this point. Like that. You just have to measure that distance from that point to this point. You see, I know you can see very well. Like that. Yes. So after you, yes, now you measure here that distance. With the same thing, don't adjust anything. Carry it properly here until this point. This point. Until at this point. At this number 1 line. This number 1 line. This point. Make a mark. You see? That is good. So stand again on the number 2 line. This is the number 2 line here. Measure that distance from here to D, the line, the points which was line C, like that, with the same measurements as you can see. Again, properly stand here, number 2 line here that we have labeled, make a mark like that. With this, come now to number 3. Which is number 3? This is the number 3 here. At this particular point, adjust that measurement like that very well, properly. Don't adjust anything, the same measurement. Carry it and bring it now here. Like that. Again, take your measurement from point number 4, like this to E, this point, like that. The same measurement. Do not adjust anything. Use the same measurements. Again, this point. Mark. So again, stand on the number 5 point here on your displacement diagram. Just the point like that. You see. Again, now stand here. Like that. Again, stand on number 6. Just that particular point. Measurement up right there. Again, the 0 prime. Remember the 0 prime? This is our 0 prime on our displacement on our cam profile. This is now the zero prime number, zero prime line, this one. So again, stand here with the same measurement, measure zero prime up to the edge, line like that, with the same measurement, bring it here. This. Draw like that. So after you have been able to achieve that, do again one prime, the one prime number here, like this. The same measurement, just anything stand at this point. Here, then make a mark there, one prime. Stand again on number 2 prime, which was at this point. Mark, measure that. You see the same thickness of the same measurement of the compass, just line. Then stand on number 3 prime like this. Stand on the number 4 prime line. So the very next thing that you do, you now quickly sketch using your free hand the profile where these points are, touching.